Okay. Hi everybody. So you haven't seen the house for a little while, and that's just because you can't really work on a cob house very well in this type of weather. Those of you that live in the Midwest especially know how much snow we got, and you might see some drips here and there. It's because it's just now, after how many weeks? A couple weeks?
At least 2.
Yeah, at least 2 weeks, just now starting to melt. And so on our property, we had at least a foot of snow, and it's just stayed. So we've done some high tunnel work, and we've shown you videos of that, but we thought it'd be really neat to do a video in the cob house today and just talk about what we hope that life will be like in the cob house. I know that when I imagine my time in the cob house, I have certain things that probably seem just very idealistic to people, but that's why you build a cob house. That's why you do something like this, because you want to live a different life. There are things that you want out of your life, and as a part of your home, as a sanctuary when you come home, that you wouldn't necessarily experience in any other type of environment. So we want life to be more simple here, of course.
She looked at me when she said that.
Frank makes everything complicated.
I do.
We want life to be more simple here, and of course anytime you go off grid, it's more simple in some ways and a lot harder in other ways. But when we say more simple, we mean just more back to the basics. But the first thing that I'm gonna mention, I'm gonna say some things that I'd like to see, and then Frank's gonna take some time and talk about the things that he hopes for in the new house. But we're standing in front of those great big windows that you've seen if you've watched any of our previous videos. And these windows right now, you know, there's a lot of stuff out there. We've got a lot of stuff in here too that's just been involved in the construction and everything.
And they're dirty.
Yeah, and they're dirty. Eventually all this will be beautified, but even now it's beautiful looking out these windows. This area looks out over our gardens out there in our orchard. And so my hope is that in the new house, that because these windows are so big and they face that way, that they'll draw you outside, if that makes sense. So in front of where we're standing off to the side here is our kitchen area. And then this area that we're standing in is like the great room, so the dining area and really the main living space. So this is where we're gonna be spending a lot of our time. And my hope is just that the house, as much as it will be our sanctuary, will also draw us outside into nature and cause us to want to go out and get into the gardens and work, because it really is the view out this window in the spring, once everything starts to bloom and the grass starts growing, it's just gorgeous. And so that's one of my hopes for the new house.
So, the things I'm most excited about are slow pace of life. I don't really, I mean, it seems kind of counterintuitive to have a cell phone in my pocket and talk about no electronics, but or being videoed on it. But once this house is done, it'll be someplace that'll feel like home for everybody. It's just how it feels to me now, and it's not got a roof on it. This is what will be the kitchen. There's plugins around the wall for our solar and wind turbines to generate power for. And we'll have, if you can imagine it, brick floors and copper pots and pans hanging from the ceiling, and stainless steel for the back wall, because we just happened to get some really great deals on stainless steel countertops and cabinets and all kinds of cool things from the school. Just all those things that are either free or so cheap you couldn't pass it up. $10 for the whole kitchen, you know, system, which was just an amazing thing for us to get, an amazing blessing. But out that window that you can see right there, you can't really see through it right now, but there's going to be a cute little place for kids to play. Our grandbabies will be running out there and playing on actual playground equipment that we got from an old playground that we pulled up knocked the concrete off of and brought here and put in the ground again. Things like that are going to just change the way people see this place, and they want to stay. They long for it, you know. And we're not looking for like some kind of amazing Airbnb thing. We're looking for just a very loving home that makes you feel good when you come in and makes you long for it when you go out. And as soon as that happens, we'll be able to entertain and love on people just because that's what we do. So that's part of my thing.
So like Frank was saying, it's just a place where we want people to come in and feel comfortable, especially our family. We've lived in such a small place for so long, talking about the trailer that we're in, not the land. The land is expansive, but that it's been really hard, especially now that our kids are older and they're getting married, and then we're starting to get grandbabies, and we want a space where people can actually come and find a place to sit and feel comfortable. And oh, that's deer. It's okay. I couldn't figure out
Our
what she had
puppy
in-
is carrying a piece of deer meat around.
Yeah, I was like, what? She has fur hanging out of her mouth. Anyways.
Nope, it's a rabbit.
Oh, it's part of a rabbit. Oh, our cat probably got a rabbit. Yeah.
By the way, look at that thing. Look at that thing.
She's getting so big.
Look at her. Okay, I'm back.
Anyways, though, so just to have a space that's big enough, Frank's gonna build me a great big barnwood table, huge one, because that's like something I've wanted for so long. Just a place where everybody can come in for Thanksgiving and all of that. You know, people already say when they come on the land and they sit around with us outside in the warmer weather, they remark all the time, they say, it's so peaceful here. You know, I just love it here. I feel so relaxed. And so that's what we want to bring into the home itself. And so, you know, you can see behind me, we've actually, like Frank was pointing out, we've got electricity stepped out, you know, for our solar panels and things. So we will have a television. We will have some of those things, and we're not even sure exactly about that. We had stepped that out for TV.
Maybe.
We may just do a projector because we like the thought of being able to pack that completely away when we don't want it. But even though we may have some modern conveniences because of solar power and wind power, the house will still feel very throwback, very old school. It's gonna have a wood burning cook stove that I cook on. Right here will be a great big fireplace behind me here in the living area. The things that we heat with especially will be more primitive. Most of the lighting will be more primitive. So even though we have solar power, we plan on using oil lamps and candles. We love the amber glow of that, and we're not gonna have a huge solar array. So we're gonna utilize our root cellar as much as possible so that we're not dependent so much upon our refrigerator as much as possible. We can a lot of things and preserve that way, and so that's what that root cellar is for. Now we have decided in the bathroom, which is back behind me through this opening, the mudroom is back this way and the bathroom's back that way, that we will have a traditional toilet with a septic. We've used composting toilet for years, and it's actually a really good system, but it is a little bit more labor intensive, and with us getting older and planning to grow old in this house, we decided that we'd like to just have a traditional septic system. We're out in the country, and so it's not like we have to be hooked into the sewage and pay that bill. We also have a well, so we will be hooked into our well so that we have running water. We're
We'll
thinking
also
about
have pump wells. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm putting a well in the kitchen, so
yeah.
we'll have separate wells. So if they were ever to say you have to be off grid, we will be.
Yeah,
And if we can be on grid, okay, but we'll probably only be that way partially.
yeah. So that's a good point right there, because I think that's one of our biggest combined hopes for the house, is that if something were to happen in this world and things were to go down, that we would be able to live life and not miss a beat in this home. We would be warm, we would be fed, we would have light. It would be as if nothing happened because we have everything set in place to live that way.
Right. Sanctuary.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. cozy sanctuary.
Yeah.
So this is one of my more exciting areas because we're going to have a really nice little wood stove in here. And this is our bedroom with the really nice old 1912 poured concrete wall we left because it was one of the more solid walls in the whole place, and we thought that'd be a great feature wall with hopefully, I mean, I do stained glass and things like that, so I'm going to put a stained glass window in that separates the two rooms and into the bathroom and the bedroom. And that doorway behind us would be like a sliding barn door or something like that. But I thought it would be cool to show kind of what the ceiling and roofing looks like, because it's barn wood beams from old barns that we've tore down for people, or they fell down and they say come get the wood. And then here's the turret. So that's looking straight up into a hole that has boards coming across that will eventually have, for safety, there's one beam in there that's just kind of protecting everything, but there's boards and beams running through that wall. That will be a place for our grandbabies to run upstairs and have this really neat castle look to it. But we're trying to do things that make people feel really at home, honestly, and enjoy it when they're here.
And if you're gonna build a whole house out of mud with your hands, you might as well make it fun and exciting. So people are like, a castle tour? We're like, yeah, we think it'd be really cool if we were one of the grandkids and you could run around through a little secret door upstairs and access this turret and look out through this window over the whole house. Like, how cool would that be? Or go through this little trap door on the ground and come out the other side and nobody knew how you got through there. Like, I remember my Nana was fun like that, and she did some things like that in her house for us grandkids that I thought was just so magical. It was so fun. So
it's like building a tree house for your kids. It's just, you get to enjoy it too.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. So there's some things that we put a lot of thought into when it comes to this place. More than just functionality, and there's going to be a lot of great function in it. I mean, this above our heads that he was showing you, that's going to be a loft just for storage. If you've ever lived in a little trailer with a bunch of kids, you'll know, especially as a woman, that's the thing you long for the most, is more storage. And storage like within your house, where you know that the mice aren't getting into it, and it's safe from the weather. So we have keepsakes and things that right now are stuck out in the old garage, and I'd really love to get them into safety. And so to be able to have that here in the house, to be able to just go put the Christmas tree up in the loft would be amazing, instead of having to take it outside in the cold and dig it out of the garage. So
or the shipping container.
So a lot of functionality, but also a lot of fun and wonder. And so that's one thing that we'll be talking about on this video to you next.
Yeah.
And so just talking about those fun things and things that make the house special. Right here where we're standing is actually a place where we're gonna plant trees. little fruiting trees, things. We're gonna try some stuff out in the house. We've got these giant windows, and we already have all these big beautiful plants. Frank has a gigantic fiddle fern and all kinds of things in the house, and so we know that we want beautiful plants all along this area. But in this central spot right here, there was a place where all the concrete was all broken up in a big circle, and we thought, how cool would it be to just go ahead and plant plants right here? So kind of like an atrium, but in just the open exposed part of the house. We'll probably put a skylight directly above.
And so anything that was built in here was built after we dug this out.
Yeah.
Because we took the backhoe inside when there wasn't any walls at all.
Mm-hmm.
We scooped this out and we put in mulch and some sand and some compost. And that mixed up in here would make a good draining soil, because where we live at is so clay heavy and has some sand, enough sand to to build cob with really easy. I mean, but not enough. But it really does make a good, strong building. And because of that, this should be able to produce bananas or lemons, or maybe we just do cactus or something really cool. Just whatever we want to do, whatever we think we would like to plant in there, and we'll keep producing and maybe get fruit and show you guys the fruit, things like that. But it's exciting to have, and I've always wanted to have like a terrarium or an atrium kind of feel in any place that I've ever lived. And I've always dreamed of those places that I've seen that had those, really beautiful middles with the open air and these trees growing up to the middle of the house. So that's one of the things that we really loved about it.
Mm-hmm. And another feature of our house that I think just makes so much wonder and beauty. I'm gonna just spin this around so that you can see. Don't mind the scaffolding. Is the fact that we've used whole trees, and you've seen me, I've shown this before. These whole trees hold up the main ridge pole that runs. It's very tall. Some people don't realize how tall the house is, but it's actually almost 2 full stories.
16 foot.
Yeah, about 16 foot tall. So back that way is our big main entry doorway. And I've showed you that before. It's grand, it's big, it's beautiful. And one thing that I'm really excited about in this house is Christmas time. Mm-hmm. And so I really hope that at Christmas time, this is just a completely magical place to be. I hope that we're able to get the house sealed in enough and put in the right heating systems, like a rocket stove, between the rocket stove, the wood stove, the fireplace, to really heat this. Maybe in-floor heating, to really be able to make this space a nice, warm, cozy space so that people aren't cold in here in the wintertime, even though it's such a large place. But to be able to come in at Christmas time and have the fireplace going and all the smells that come along with a wood cook stove and the candlelight, and right here on the other side of this tree, just a gigantic Christmas tree. So when you walk in the front door, you just see this beautiful, gigantic Christmas tree. I've always had these, in the trailer, these little tiny, maybe 7 foot tall, maybe, Christmas trees. And I would love to just have something on such a grand scale. Frank wants to put a little train track in the house, maybe not a little one, maybe a great big one.
I'm looking for zero scale.
Mm-hmm. Which is not little.
No, it's
just
about a foot long each one and about 8 inches tall.
No. So we're not talking like
all through the house, so the grandbabies can watch it, and Christmas time we'll decorate it.
We're not talking about like silver spoons where you get on the train and ride it, but a really like realistic miniature train that goes around at Christmas time. So I guess we're just kids at heart.
Yeah.
And
I'll take
like
that.
I said, if we're gonna do something completely off the wall and crazy, we might as well go big and put everything in it that we would dream to have. If you've never seen one of our videos before of the house, I encourage you to go back and watch our earlier videos. We talk about how long we've been building on this house. I always like to kind of give the disclaimer, just in case there are people watching who haven't seen it, that it looks rough, and we know it looks rough. It's been through, 5 years?
Well, this spring,
without a roof.
This spring, in 2026 spring, will be 7 springs, 6 years.
If you can imagine all that spring rain, this year, all the snow, it's rough. And that's why we're pushing so hard to get the roof on this place. We've got a lot of repairing to do. After the repairing is done, then a lot of smoothing to do so that when the finished plasters go on this place, it'll look really great. Right. But it does look rough right now. There is a lot of these beams and stuff that'll have to be replaced, but that doesn't stop our cat. There's Pumpkin. From testing everything out for us and making sure it's still strong.
It's stable.
Yeah. That's one thing. It's taken a lot of damage, but the place is still standing strong.
Yeah, it's amazing. People don't understand that cob is, in a lot of ways, almost stronger than concrete if you do it right.
It's
because it flexes where concrete will flex in some ways if you put enough rebar and things like that. I worked at a concrete plant for a long time, and I did maintenance for them, but I watched those guys, and it takes enormous amounts of metal to make the concrete flex. Where cob will flex a little bit, and that's why if you look up the videos about earthquakes and things like that, there's documented studies, and universities have checked out the strength of concrete versus cob versus all kinds of other things, but especially cob. They built cob houses, put it on a simulator of earthquake, and they got to like 8 point something before it cracked, and almost 9 before it actually started to fail, but it never failed. They just stopped the simulation because they think they were at the top of their run. But it's really amazing to see that you can just, the weather just beats it to death. And in certain places, you really got to be careful. If the water channels into a spot, it'll wear it away without anything protecting it. So it's good hat, good boots, good house.
Because we have had a few places where we thought we were protecting it by putting up some old, you'll see like in some of the videos, some of the old like barn metal we've just slapped up to try to help keep the rain off of certain parts. And we've had times where the winds come and pick something up and blew it over, and it was just channeling water into a particular area, and that area failed. I mean, it literally just collapsed. But then at the same time, you know, we've been building, and I think it was when we were lifting one of these trees up and over the side wall into the house where we bumped the wall really hard with the backhoe bucket.
I've done that twice. I backed into it.
Yeah, and it didn't go anywhere. So
I moved, it didn't.
Yeah, if it tells you anything about the strength of cob. So it's one weakness is water, and that's what's going on right now. All this water damage is eroding away at places and just causing big chunks to be out of what was once really smooth and nice. So we've got a lot of work to do on it. But we're excited to get started again. It seems like we're crazy to be talking about spring right now when you look around, but really
Spring.
We're coming close to the middle of February. Spring is right around the corner. And as soon as that warmer weather hits, man, we're going to be putting out all kinds of video because we're going to be hitting it hard. So if you haven't liked and subscribed yet, make sure that you do, because you're not going to want to miss this. This place is getting ready to go from rough to really spectacular. And if you are thinking about building a cob house, there's going to be so much good content that you're going to be able to glean from. If you have never heard about it, and I'll try to maybe show it when we go back in the house, but the Hand-Built House by Yanto Evans, I think is what the book is called, and they basically call it the Cob Bible. It'll tell you just about everything you know in a very easy to understand way about cob building. Yanto is really responsible for the cob revival in the United States.
With a couple other people in that book.
Yeah, there's a couple other people that
I can't
contributed
remember
to
their
the
names
book.
right offhand, but
There's one
we can
man in
tell it.
particular that's a real expert at straw bale building, who's worked with Yanto as well. So I'll try to share that book later. But come along on this journey with us, and I think that you're going to see that something like this is more attainable than what you would think. Now, Frank and I went really big, and we had to have a lot of help because of that. But we're coming down to the point where our kids are growing up, they're getting out of the house, we don't have as many hands, and so it's crunch time.
Right.
So you're going to see a lot of movement real fast, right?
Well, I'm
Hopefully.
pretty old, so medium fast.
Okay, medium.
Medium fast. Okay.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you soon.
So yeah.